Good morning and welcome to English Composition 1101. This is the spring 2026 um, online course, and I hope you are looking forward to a great term. I know I am. Um, I wanted to do like a quick little walkthrough and kind of go over some of the main aspects of Canvas that you'll want to make sure that you're familiar with. I went on ahead and put this on student view, so that's why you see this big access denied. You will not see this on your side, or at least you shouldn't. If you do, please let me know. As you can see here, it just says you cannot access this functionality in student view. So that's really all that's saying. I'm limited to what I'm able to access as a student in this course. So English Composition 1, that is our course. Immediately, as soon as you jump to the home page, right here on the home page, I included the tentative schedule for the term, including all due dates, all the way down to the very last week of school. I say tentative just in case if we ever need to change anything. I like to be a little malleable with the schedule. You'll always be able to find everything that's due over here under the to-do list. It kind of goes through and lets you know when each thing is due. And as soon as you complete it, it gets taken off. It gets wiped away from your to-do list. Also, any announcements that I make will go right here under the recent announcements. Please make sure to keep up with announcements. I do like to send out announcements as kind of like not really so much to check in, but to give like group information if I have to change a due date or if we are having to incorporate something else or if there's a new website. So just always keep an eye on the announcements. That's where you'll find um, pretty much any like updates or any changes that will happen during the class. I don't anticipate any. I'd like to make sure that all of the assignments are kind of spaced out where you have enough time and don't feel overlapped or rushed. So, but I still like to make sure that that is known about the recent announcements. Okay, so from the modules page, the first thing that you're going to find is the Getting Started module. Um, this Getting Started module just kind of includes the first three assignments that are due, attendance confirmation, which just confirms your attendance in the course, saying that you are going to take the course, the syllabus agreement, just stating that you have read through the syllabus and you agree to its terms, the comp questionnaire, this kind of just like a little, it gives me a little insight into what you know, what you would like help on. Each student is able to fill this out for the 25 points. So it's really kind of helpful for me as the instructor. This first thing, this Welcome to Comp 1, just kind of gives a little bit of a brief background on, I guess, my education, how long I've been teaching, where I'm from. Um, I do respond to emails quickly. So if you ever send me an email, be it through our Outlook or through this Canvas Messenger over here on the inbox, I will get back to you within 24 hours. If I happen to not, please within like after 48 hours, resend the email because it may have went to a different folder in the on Outlook. So I just want to make sure that it doesn't um, flee from my attention. The syllabus is also located under that module, and the tentative schedule is located on the class homepage. I do not require a textbook for the class, excuse me. All of the resources that we will need for the class, I have links and I have web access for all of that. So the textbook is not necessarily needed for the course. When it comes to the college in and of itself, you can find links for support on the Canvas homepage on this tabs list over here. If you look over here at the Welcome to NWF, There's a lot of really cool resources that you can find over here. The Learning Commons, and just in case if you need any type of tutoring assistance, like for instance, if you would like to have someone review over your papers before you submit, they have this ability to where you can kind of send your paper as long as you give them 48 hours of notice. But send in your paper and they can give you personalized feedback, which is always kind of helpful, even though I will be giving you feedback and we will be completing peer reviews. I always say there's never enough eyes that there's never too many eyes, I guess is a good way to put it. Um, Having different eyes take a look at look at your work really kind of gives you a different perspective because you have a multitude of audience members, excuse me. Let's see here. Library Resources and Support. If you need accommodations, you can utilize the Accommodation Resource Center. If you have any IT issues, you can contact tech support. Um, Also kind of goes into Raider Life. So if you're interested in joining any clubs, you can find that there. If you have any questions about financial aid, if you have any questions about the Maddie Kelly, athletics, whatever, you can find all of those links over here under the Welcome to NWF. Now from the modules page, you will find here our syllabus for spring 26. This syllabus kind of just goes over everything for the term. If you look on the front or at the top, excuse me, instructor information, this is where you'll find my phone, my email, office hours, my Zoom hours. I've kind of made the Zoom hours for later on in the evening for those who may have for those who may be dual enrollment or work or whatever. But I'm pretty flexible on the Zoom hours. So if you need a specific time frame or you can't make it during any of these times, just let me know. I'm very open to being a little flexible with my times. Um, Instructor communication, email is the official communication medium of the college. Again, I will respond within 24 hours. However, if it were to end up in a different folder, just resend the email just to ensure that I received it. Or you can even say, send me an email suggesting, hey, I had sent an email previously and have not heard back following up. So, and then I'll know to go and look in the different folders. So just somehow or another, get back in touch with me. The rest of the syllabus kind of just basically goes through the course description, what you will gain from the class, what kind of materials we will work on during the class. It also gives you the Department of Education's learning outcomes and this to me is like probably the most important assignments, grading scheme, and procedures. Everyone wants to know like how I grade everything. So I want to go on ahead and make sure that it is out there for everyone to see. Each block is kind of sectioned off into different little, I guess, I don't know the good word to say it. Each is like a separate little, I gotta call them assignment blocks. But each have the individual score and the entire score all added to. See here, the final reflection. If you happen to earn an A by the end of the semester, you're excused from the final reflection. Let's see here. Makeup work. That's another question that students always ask. Makeup work. I understand life can happen. Life can happen and things can happen that are out of our hands. And I completely appreciate that. Just make sure just to let me know. I do allow a 2-day grace period following the original due date of the assignment. No penalties are applied during those 2 days. However, if the assignment is late after, they will incur a penalty of 5 points per day unless you just email me and ask for an extension. Again, you all have other classes, other commitments. So I completely understand. This is more about communication and the importance of communication. So if you ever have any questions or need any type of extensions or need any help individually with your papers, please do not hesitate to reach out. Attendance. Basically, students are just expected to manage their time effectively. This being an online class, sometimes, I don't know if anyone is like me in the regard that sometimes I can be a bit of a procrastinator. However, if you need some tips on different things to help you stay on track, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to kind of put together something, be it like a how you can set up your calendar or whatever. Just if you need any help with anything like that, just to make sure that you are successful in this course, then just please let me know. Student expectations and resources. This just kind of goes over different things that you can utilize if you need. There is a section on academic integrity, accommodations. Again, the Accommodation Resource Center is there to help you if you need anything extra, like even if it's just like an extra 30 minutes on a test or something. If you need that, the Accommodation Resource Center can accommodate that. Attendance, regular attendance and participation in the court is expected. Tutoring services, they are available in person or online over in the Learning Commons, or i.e. the library. Counseling services, student code of conduct, student complaints, rights and responsibilities. So those are all different aspects that you can click on if you have any questions or need any of these resources. Excuse me. Other important information, the course is entirely online, so you want to make sure that you have your own laptop or computer. If you were to have an issue with your laptop or computer, please do not hesitate to reach out and let me know. Because again, sometimes technology can also mess up. It all happens. Emergency college closure. This is an online class, so we won't really have to worry too much about that. However, I do recall from last January when we had the 10 inches of snow that they sent out emails, text messages, and phone calls. So the college is really good at letting us know if we have to close. Academic integrity tools. I utilize Turnitin. It's an online plagiarism detection and prevention service. Turnitin also offers AI assistance as well to determine if a student's essay has used AI. I do not lean wholeheartedly on Turnitin for AI usage. Usually AI is pretty I guess the best word is be obvious because it's algorithms, right? So overall, they can be kind of obvious if they're used. If ever there comes into an issue like that, I would contact you like immediately. I don't really ever have very many issues with the AI usage in class because you get to choose your own topic and you're kind of integrating things that you enjoy into these topics. So usually students are pretty excited about writing about things that they enjoy. However, because generative AI is used so much and there's so many different things that kind of incorporate it, um, I'd like to make sure that everyone's sources that are used for essay 3 and 4 are verified because sometimes generative AI, if you were to use that for research purposes, they could steer you in the wrong direction. We're going to talk about that further on in the term. I like to have like a whole course kind of designated just to AI usage and making sure that anytime anybody does use AI, they use it responsibly and still kind of keep their own personality. It's super important. I know that AI is definitely the future. I mean, um, that goes without saying. However, let's kind of keep it to where the AI works for us and not us depend so wholeheartedly on it. So that's kind of just kind of going through, have a little lesson on that. Let's see here. Reused papers are not permitted. If you have a question about a former topic, please let me know prior to submission. Meaning if you are working on a argumentative paper, at the same time for a different class and you would kind of like to use like a similar topic, let's just talk about it first and see what we can put together. Academic continuity plan. This just kind of just goes into, again, if there is an emergency college closure, I guess this is kind of like a reference to like the COVID pandemic. If things happen and an emergency is needed, the college it has the ability to move everything online, but we're already online. So there's not really much to concern ourselves with that one. That is the syllabus. Um, Again, just kind of review through it, print it out if you need, just to have on you. Let's see here on the modules, attendance confirmation, syllabus agreement, Comp 1 questionnaire, and then I put this together. This is just called Tips for a Successful Term. It's kind of just things that I've noticed throughout my time working in the collegiate environment. Um, these are just all things that I just kind of noticed that a lot of students will ask questions about as far as like the calendar, where to find information on when assignments are due dates. So it kind of just goes into that as well as like the attendance policies and just kind of like just basic um, tips for success. Um, but I think this is it. Throughout the term, I will open up the modules as we go. You'll also get more of these lovely videos of me stumbling through the conversation or stumbling through the assignments. Um, but I'm really looking forward to a fantastic semester. I'm really looking forward to seeing the different topics that you introduce and getting to know you all a little bit better. But okay, all right. Here's for a great term.